Hello and welcome to the show The Sofa with Nasamo. Today's topic is going to be about projection. So first we're going to talk about define projection, what's projection, and then we're going to talk about who does it and why do we do it, and then I'll give you some examples that could capture projection behavior, and then we're going to talk about the positive side of projections. So first, what's the projections and how do we define projections? Projections is referred to unconsciously, sometimes consciously taking unwanted behavior, attitude, emotion that we don't like about ourselves and attributing them to someone else. So basically, instead of acknowledging that type of behavior that we don't like, we just easy to point it at someone else. Who does that type of behavior? Who usually project? Projecting, like most people in general, do projecting. But people who falls into that behavior are more likely to have low self-esteem and they don't know it themselves very well. I mean, those people are more likely to do project than other people. But those, because as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, that self-reflect, it helps a lot to understand ourselves. So if people who do not do self-reflect, they're more likely don't understand themselves, even they think they do. So that's why they fall into this projections behavior. But why do we do it? Projection actually is a self-defense mechanism. Self-defense mechanism that we do it to protect ourselves from getting hurt. So basically, if I am if there is something that I don't like about myself, certain behavior that I don't like about myself, it will be easier for me to project it onto someone else instead of acknowledging that part that I don't like about myself. So that's why I do project. So I protect myself from getting hurt. I'll give an example, a really a real life example. One of my friends, actually, she is from conservative background, and then she came to Australia where there is no cultural restrictions. And then one day she came to my house in the morning and she was upset, crying and sad, and she was like, why my friend would think of me in that way. Like they told her that she was doing unspeakable things, and then she was surprised, how come that my friend will think of me that way? They know me very well. So at the time I told her, maybe it's not just you, it's everyone who comes from conservative cultural background. For example, I have some people think of me that way as well. So maybe that's what it is. But now actually we look back to think about this situation, I would say they actually projecting what they would do if they were in your place. So basically, they telling you unconsciously that if we were there, we might do this and that. So instead of saying that, instead of acknowledging that about themselves, so they just projecting that on you. The other example of this type of projection behavior, it's like if there's a couple, let's say a male and female. If a female, for instance, like a male co-worker, attracted to, and then she came home to her partner starts talking about his day, and then he mentioned some female colleague, then she will feel that he attracted to one of his female friends. That's why he mentioned them in his speech. But actually, in fact, that she is projecting her feelings on him, instead of acknowledging that she attracted to someone apart from her partner. So she said that you are attracted to your colleague. So it's kind of like she felt that she's cheating on her feelings, and by projecting on him, it makes him feel like he is the one who's unfaithful in that relationship. But this is kind of an example that could capture that projections behavior. I hope that you will get that example. And then apart from all these type of negative behavior about projection, there is actually a positive side of projection. Like if let's say if I feel sad or upset, and then you came, because you know if you feel sad or upset, you will look like this or you'll behave in that way. So when you see me like looking sad and upset, you will come to me and ask me what's happening, what's wrong with you, are you okay? So this is what make me feel understood and make me feel connected, that people actually do care about me, and then that's makes me feel better. So this is actually a positive side of projection, which I mentioned earlier. It's kind of like it's a type of behavior or feelings or emotions. So if you project those ones, if you know that type of behavior and emotions, then you can actually connect better with people. So we can use projection in the positive side than it's in the negative side. How can we reduce and get rid of projection? One is to reflect, to sit back and then think about what you have done and why did you do this? Why did you ask? Why did you point fingers on other people? Think about this, the reason behind it. Second, it's to talk to somebody you trust. Like if your friend or your family member, someone that you really trust, and then talk to them. Ask them if whenever you feel like if you're projecting at any time, just to let you know, because sometimes we do it, we don't know that we're projecting. So that family member or friend or whatever, whoever you trust, it could lead you to the right path, just to help you to reflect upon yourself. The third, if you don't have that person or you cannot reflect yourself, then you can actually seek a therapist. That other options that you can do to help you reduce that type of behavior. But if you are a person who get projected on, for example, like my friend, instead of feeling upset or angry or sad or crying, just you can't talk to those people who thought that you were doing whatever that they thought you're doing. Just tell them, why did you think of me that way? What makes you think that I'm doing this? So you can see, that will help them reflect whether they actually stereotyping you because everyone does it who lives, or they think everybody does it who lives that conservative culture, or they just projecting themselves. So like by asking those questions like, why do you think I'm doing this, and what behavior that I did led you to think that I'm doing this type of stuff. This actually, because they have to answer you, then they kind of unconsciously or consciously sometimes reflect upon their behavior, and then most likely they're gonna say, oh no, don't worry about it, or something like that. So they would back up. That's what we need to do. Yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you have any comment or questions, please let me know. And until next video, thank you.